And because no matter how I stated this, I'm going to come off the wrong way to people that watch it.
Because are you videoing me?
I'm videoing you.
Are you videoing a cabinet? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So Jill just picked that up.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Yeah. October you picked that one up, wasn't it?
Was that when we went and got that?
Mm,
sometime in the fall.
Flip that light on over. So when we built the house, we were supposed to have a like a book style cabinet actually built in right there. And when we got down to the nut cutting, we didn't end up doing it because of money and everything. So we had Jill's got all kinds of stuff in here. That's the one you had in there. Was it the one in yonder that you had in there?
To have right here. That desk.
Okay, yeah, this desk right
desk
there. Yeah, right there. That desk right there is what she had. And of course, she's got it all fixed up. So this is fixing to be our year in review videos. Wasn't this going to be today's video too? Okay. And then this was this come from your grandmother right here, right?
This came from grandmother, but it went back even further than that. It belonged to her aunt, Aunt Marion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she found this. Jill fools with a lot of antiques. She sells them here out of the house. Pretty big deal too, because she's putting him through college selling the antiques. I mentioned that in a video here a few weeks back, but then found that one here in Columbus and got it. And the thing about all these there's this good and sturdy steel too. It's not rickety or anything.
And it's all that Empire style furniture, which is what I like.
And then she's got stuff everywhere, man.
Well, yeah.
So these are actually pretty cool too. In here, this is our sunroom. But yeah.
I'm excited.
And she's got rabbits everywhere too. She likes rabbits.
Talking about my rabbits.
I'll make fun of her rabbits. She got rabbits everywhere. Rabbits right there. There's a rabbit right there. They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. So, yeah. So you happy?
Man, I am thrilled. When you invest in a piece of
flip that screen over there.
You invest in a piece of furniture like that, and you see it at the store, you think it's going to be the right thing, but until you can get it home and actually see it in place, and then know it was the right thing to get, then it's kind of a sigh of relief that you did the right thing.
So this is what it looks like when you come out of the kitchen into. This was supposed to have been an arch right here. Of course, we put an arch in, and I did that over there. I was supposed to put one in here and one over there too, on that going into the dining room, but I opted not to do one right here, just to do that one with the columns over there.
I like it like that.
Yeah, I think 3 would have been too many.
Me too. I think it's just right.
Get worked out better like that. Been an interesting year for me and Jill, to say the least.
Yep.
So there's YouTube, y'all follow us along all the time. It kind of bleeds over into some personal stuff and everything. So and then there's some things that I just don't talk about or tell about, but I'm gonna mention a few things in this video that we have not talked about or anything, so some people know. Some people have figured things out, some have not. And I've had a few people that have just been I blocked one the other day that was just a complete idiot about the whole thing. But so start off first part of the year, Anna Kate was supposed to get married to Hunter October the 1st. They ended up calling the wedding off in February of this year. And so we went through all that stuff and got all that situated and what have you, which me and Jill both told her that, you know, if it wasn't going to work out, we'd rather it work out like that then rather than later.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't anything that I needed to, nothing needed to be disclosed on it or whatever, as far as like announcing it. You know, it's far enough down the road now to where I've had some people ask about it, but I just hadn't responded. Or
well,
anything.
and now we're past the wedding date.
Yeah.
And about to be past the wedding year, so that's good.
That's correct. So just kind of let that go. And so we had to cancel everything. And then we had, and I'll get into this a little bit more here as we talk, but yeah, so got that passed. And Emma graduated. That was a big deal.
Yeah, just lots going on.
Oh my gosh.
That last semester, but really the last month or two was just slam packed.
Y'all have no idea and Jill sees it, what goes on day to day with us, with what I do. You know, because at that time I was still working in the woods 2 days a week. And the tree service was pretty much full time. And then the social media stuff is pretty much full time. And it aggravates the snot out of me sometimes. But people will get after me in the comments wanting to know certain things. And I truly believe that they think that when I post a video that that's all that I do is post that.
That's right.
15-minute video. And man,
it's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes.
It's a lot, because Jill, what she's doing as far as reselling the antiques and everything is all through social media now, through Instagram. And so she does a lot of live sales on there. And so she's getting a good dose of what it takes to make that machine run day to day. Yeah. So anyhow, we got Emma graduated. And then we rolled on through the summer, and of course, a lot of people, if you couldn't figure out what I was doing, you were kind of, you know, had your head in a box or something as far as what I was working toward doing. In my career, the logging just basically nosedive this year. It had been nosediving for a while, but it really took a nosedive. And so we were running through the year, and Jill was telling me every now and then, she'd say, you know, you need to go ahead and get out, because what you make logging is minuscule as what I was doing tree work. And so what I told her was I was going to hang on till they moved us off on a long way and on a long job. Lo and behold, we had been right here around the house pretty close the whole time. Well, I had gotten informed through I have some people who talk to me, you know, the potential places that we might end up moving to log. And it kept kind of getting put off as far as going off a long way. And so August, we rolled in. We had a wet August, very wet August. And I hadn't said anything about none of this stuff. And the guy really ticked me off the other day in the video when he piped up. And like I said, I ended up blocking him. But he's talking about, he said he knew all the details. This guy knew everything. So obviously he had talked to Derek, and Derek had filled him in on what all that went on for him to know what he knew. And so my thing is I wanted to go out quiet, under the radar, and nobody know about it, because I didn't want folks to feel like that I was bragging about it or boasting about it. Because at the end of the day, when all the dust settles, we're family. And that's one thing that's kind of pissed me off in the comments, is some people don't care about that. All they care about is causing problems. And so every time somebody would pipe up and say something, I wouldn't do nothing. And the other thing about it is too, and some folks just have no clue, is this all I've done my whole life. You know, I've worked for my dad. This year made 38 years that I worked for him. And 32 full time. So I go, it's a long time to work. So the end of August, we were hardly working at all. It was raining. And then, of course, I got Jill standing here beside me because I didn't want all of this just to come from me sitting there talking head in front of the camera. A lot of people think, or they just, some people just, they think about me wrong or whatever a lot of times. They moved from here to Fulton, Mississippi. And that's an hour and a half drive. And one way. And so I went up there that Monday, and things wasn't getting no better in the woods. It was hard working because once I started dropping back to where I got all the way back to 2 days a week, I was an outcast then. I was cut out of everything. You know, no information. The information that I got came from somebody else or whatever. So it got to where it was really difficult on me to work like that when I had been in the middle of everything. And I mean, I get it. There's a lot of resentment there and what have you. And again, you working somewhere like that long in family, you know, it's a lot of weight there, you know. So on the way back that day, that Monday, on the way back from Fulton, after that hour and a half drive, I called Jill and I told her, I said, today's the day. I said, I'm going to quit today. And I had a big job going on my own. And when I came in, and I rode by the shop up there and I told Dad, I said, Dad, today's it for me. And I said, I'm not working in the woods no more. And so I got out. And so since the 1st of September, I have not worked in the woods. All I've done is tree work. And the tree work has been crazy. It's been, I don't know, you kind of describe what I've done in the amount of time, and then what the difference that you've seen in me or whatever.
Well, you're happier.
Yeah.
That would be the first thing. But the amount of work available for you to do is endless. As soon as you get one job done, you have 2 or 3 right behind it. And a lot of times those jobs come from neighbors who see you working on the job that you're working on, and they like how you've done it and so forth. And I mean, having work to do is not going to be an issue at all. No. And you can do it the way you want to do it. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good decision all the way around, hands down, no doubt.
So I've been able to grow in a short period of time to where I am in the tree world as far as that goes. But I've always hustled tree work. That's the thing that probably a lot of people may not realize, that even all the way back to when I was in high school, I hustled tree work. So I've hustled tree work for 30 years, better than 30 years, but not at the magnitude of what I've been doing now. And
because this is your full-time job.
That's right. And a lot of people, they see the videos. Some people think I'm stupid or I'm dumb or whatever, and I get that. I know they do. I can read it in the comments when they come in. I think a lot of it boils down to jealousy is what it does, and they kind of lash out at me because I remember one comment that stood out. One guy said it would take, there's no way you could do what you're doing. It would take 5 guys 5 years to pay for what I've bought in a year. Well, he kind of answered himself in the question or in the statement. You know, I don't have 5 guys. The money, probably 95% of the work that I do by myself. And I'm I'm doing $7,000, $8,000, $5,000 jobs, just bam, 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 by myself. I mean, I have Chris to help me on some when he's off, but most of them I'm doing by myself.
Most of them by yourself, and a lot of it is repeat customers.
The repeat,
who want you to
oh my
come
gosh,
back and
yeah.
do more.
I've got one customer just this year. I probably did $50,000 on one customer, and so to talk about bring Hunter back in this too with and Kate, to tell you where that's at. Also, Hunter still actually helps me if he don't have anything going on. I can call on Hunter, and he likes the tree work, and he likes that stuff, the mechanical stuff, the ropes. He enjoys that. He can't do heights though. He can, and that's okay. That's okay as long as he's on the ground. That's fine. But he likes that stuff. He's a dude. He likes that, and so
It's a good way for him to supplement his
income,
especially in the winter.
in the winter months. That's right. Because Hunter got up, he was mowing 100 yards a year. 100 yards. So Swap, I remember why I quit using that camera now and stuff.
It died on you.
Yeah, and it was out of focus, but the video is gonna be fine. Like it was. But yeah. So from roll up to August, and all of a sudden within a matter of 2 weeks, we lose Emma, move her into school at Mississippi State University over there. So she's gone, and then 2 weeks later, at the end of August, we move Anna Kate out into an apartment, and then she's gone. And then Jill and I are right here.
Empty nesters.
And, so everything's been a whirlwind. And then on top of that, Jill is doing her antiques, which is, what is it?
Junkin with Jill.
On Instagram. And then running the tree service, the home, and Cotton Top 3, all that stuff, and trying to keep everybody happy all at the same time. So our year has been pretty nuts, and I wish, and it's not just me, but I see other YouTubers dealing with the same thing, or people on social media. Sometimes you don't know what somebody else has got going on in their world, and you may need to cut them some slack. You know what I mean? And just kind of chill. But so many people are kind of demanding, wanting to know, wanting information and things. But on my end, to walk away from logging was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And it wasn't something that I wanted to do. And I told Dad, I said, I didn't want to finish my career out like this. I wanted to finish it out logging. But there was never going to be a time where me, Kevin, or Derek would ever be able to get out of a machine. In my body, over 30-something years of running a machine, there was a guy in the comments the other night, he said, I wonder how many cumulative hours that I have on equipment running and all. And I got to thinking about that when I read that comment. And that would be pretty neat to know.
That'd be crazy.
Because it would be crazy because the loader that I was in, I had 23,000 hours on it. And that's...
What year was that machine purchased?
In 08, but not that, but just all the other machines. And then, like my tractor, my Mini, I've had 3 tractors, and then all the other equipment that we've got, and again, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want people to think I was bragging. And because no matter how I stated this, I'm going to come off the wrong way to people that watch it, because there's one thing I've learned about social media and people is even though there may be something right there that is a certain color, and you look at it, somebody else is going to say it's the opposite color. I mean, it's completely, you know.
Yeah, but that's when you just have to do your own thing and do
Yeah.
what works best for you.
hmm So I wanted to kind of fill everybody in on, what went on that. Because, I wasn't sure going into all this whether, how it's going to work out for me. But everything has a plan and it's all laid out. We can't see it. We don't know how it's going to go. It's like crossing a bridge. You have to get to that bridge and you have to cross it when you get to it. And that's the way life is. But there's a plan there for everything. And there's no doubt in my mind that what I'm doing, what we're doing now, that it's in that plan because of the way things have
That's right.
fell into place. And then but yeah, just a lot going on, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of emotions when you look back. But appreciate all y'all watching. So we'll catch y'all later, taters.